You fucking playing around and shit. Yeah, that last live stream was kind of eventful. Oh, you son of a bitch! God damn it! Thought that was just one bullet and that would help. I guess. Oh well, it didn't. Okay. Understanding that. I'm not gonna like overzealous it or probably try to put it into like a different context, but I did not know that child was 10 years old, and I would have never let him onto the entire thing. We're gonna go and see if we can go to the military base again, see if we can come up with a real topic, some kind of discussion, and also, I mean, I don't want to use that as a topic though, because I kind of am actually more about mental health than anything else. So, and we're gonna see if we can go to
bullshit. Moron.
God dang it.
I told you not to fuck with me.
Cat's going outside too. Alright, we're going to see if we can come up with a topic that doesn't involve us talking to 10-year-olds. Because I currently blocked him, and he's not going to be talking on my forum anymore because he just wants me to do other stuff. I mean, he also did get me to do a bunch of heists and stuff or whatever. But I'm just doing it now so I can get money to be able to go to like the military base in Florida or something like that. That's fun. So, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, I guess. Sorry Expert Thief, but you are not going to be able to put any messages on my board, and I blocked you as a user, so you won't be able to put messages for comments up on my videos anymore. So I don't know how to stop you from watching your videos, or get YouTube to age gate them, but I'm probably not important enough to do that anyways, so. But in the same sense, we're going to talk about something, profound, okay? We're going to talk about something profound. And we're going to figure out that topic as soon as we keep going into this area of something. I don't know, but we're going to put something, and we're going to do something, and I don't know. Alright, but we're going to do it, so it's going to be great. Alright, it's going to be positive, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be great for humanity. Hopefully, because I'm going to be playing this video game at the same time, so it might actually be a little bit detrimental, but it's okay. Yay. I'd say the way that YouTube can push towards people's emotional psyches, and can push into people's emotional psyches. Kind of make them jerk as far as tears go, the tear jerking sort of thing, and change people's minds as far as what people have as far as something like that. You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't get it sometimes when people actually like. It's just the thing, you know. It's the thing that people believe sometimes. All right, let me get that super GT and not worry about this. All right. I guess it's a super GT. Okay, at least. And music off because it's copyrighted. And also because it's not really that good of a song. It just repeats the same line over and over again. You know? Not to say that it wasn't a great thing for the 80s and wasn't a good dancing music, because dancing music does repeat the same music line over and over again, but this is not the actual setting for dancing music very much. I usually study and or use other things, but it's mostly melodic tones and sometimes even hip hop beats. You know? All right. All right. Popping off the hood, badass. Got him. Alright.
Dispatch, I have a 20 on him.
Suspect last seen in northern Fort Jacksonville.
A little bit. Son of a bitch. So I'm totally gonna get the jet, man. Okay, let's see what we can talk about now. Talking about sensitivity in media about things. A lot of people could get the reasons why, I did talk to a 10-year-old and say that I would play video games with him would probably be a little bit suspect, or saying that things. But also too, I don't have. I'm doing a live stream right now, so I'm not actually having like a. Sometimes I have a latent reflex when it comes to certain things. So I'm gonna have a little bit more of not a reflex, of more of a reflex, not reflex, but I'm gonna have a little bit more of a reflex when it comes to talking to people. But in the same sense, I'm still keeping my message board open, and I still want to talk about what's going on with YouTube and what's going on with the people, I guess, and how it pertains to certain mental psyches, to be able to I say even post the regular stuff that you're posting. And I'm not trying to become popular, but I am trying to become a popular discussion. So, in the same sense, I'm not trying to get fans, I'm trying to get friends. So, in the same sense, and also too, the 10-year-old did not actually, he just gave me new ideas to be able to see different stuff in a new light, like go in here and take out the stuff from the cash registers. But, son of a bitch. Alright, I still suck at it, by the way. I still need to work my magic as far as going to do stuff. But yeah, so, and also that kind of hits a nerve to me that little kids are able to go through different names and go to different search sites, I guess, and not get age gated because they haven't signed in, or a certain area of what they're actually thinking about or something like that, you know. I don't know, it's just, I'm not judging it. I'm not saying that, oh my god, it's terrible, because when I was a little kid I was pretty misbehaviory, but I just didn't have a whole bunch of different stuff about, like, I didn't have a whole bunch of different I didn't have the ability to be able to go into like certain areas and like this, like in '87, and I was like 5 years old. 1992, it wasn't really that big of a thing with the internet. So it's a new thing we're experiencing, and we're gonna got him. All right, we're gonna get out of here because we got so many some odd dollars. We're gonna keep on going, see if we can go to the other ammunition and keep going with this. All right, so let's talk about something new, because I kind of want to get that out of my head because of how irresponsible I was, I guess. I'm not really like attuned to sometimes talking about how irresponsible I was, but or I am, but
Slipping.
but yeah, I'd say that that was extremely irresponsible of me, and I'll try to be a little bit more responsible as far as the YouTuber goes. And but I'm still not a professional. Not a professional at this. Hello, what's going on? What's up? Alright, so
Bullshit.
what I'm gonna talk about doing is I'm gonna talk about the way that our psyche is manipulated by certain media. I guess we're taught to say or to think that that what YouTube has as far as things go is responsible, or is too responsible. But in the same way, there are things that slip through the cracks, and I'm awesome. And I imagine that awesome thing. All right. What's up? What's going on? Where?
Blind piece of shit.
How's there a hole in there? Oh, I saw something about it. Nice. Yeah. Don't run the sink. Don't run the sink. That particular sink. It's just the elbow. Okay. All right. I don't know. You can measure it. Do you need me to measure it? You got towels underneath there, or a bucket underneath there where it's leaking? Okay. All right. Cool. We have a leaky faucet. Well, not faucet, but a pipe inside of the faucet. So working on that stuff. But yeah, the way that I think media has been able to or been affecting me in a certain way can I could say that it's given me something to do during the day. It's given me something to do because I don't have a job, basically, and I know I'm probably not the biggest of YouTube people, but it's actually given me a little bit more creativity, I guess. But in the same sense as well, I think that what they do sometimes can, as far as censorship, can sometimes what's the word? And I see children should not have a worldview in some ways, because that can open them up to a whole bunch of different kinds of different things that actually they could get themselves in trouble with. I've noticed that, and I burped. But also realizing in the same sense is that with certain media types like Rick and Morty and certain like other things like that, people have like basically I'd say systematically what's the word systematically I'd say put an archetype on what the perfect teenager is, or something like that, or not the perfect teenager, but the perfect media teenager is. Perfect media consuming teenager is, and then in some ways I think not exactly like villain. I'm not villainizing anyone or anything like that. I'm trying to come up with a point, and what that point is that certain media trying to kind of gives us a glimpse of what we would see as what a certain I'd say demographic is, and then some ways some people will try to make fun of that demographic, or make fun of that actual coming up with a demographic by sometimes, I don't know, just poking fun at stuff, or saying funny things, or saying stupid things, or saying that just because of a certain thing that we have to be more sensitive, and I think that in some ways the more sensitive we are sometimes, the more I'd say not say like And not to say that there's
Suspect last seen, and they
not to say that there's
red
a
sports
I'd say a realistic boundary when it comes to certain media sometimes, because in the same sense, I just had a 10-year-old talk about let's do a heist on literally a live stream on YouTube. So I mean, I'd say that, but also he found a loophole too as well, and also younger kids can find loopholes like that as well. Realizing that that is the way that sometimes people think and sometimes people do things. Hold on, let me pause it because my phone is ringing and I have to take out my mic. And I don't own a car. Okay, it's weird. It's weird that I'm getting calls from about my car warranty, and I do not own a car, like at all, whatsoever.
60 miles per hour on
Yep.
Oxford Drive.
So there's that. You know, getting car warranty calls. I'll probably have my identity stolen at some point or another. Not worried about it too much, but it'll happen. It'll happen slowly, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, you know, cool, right? Shut up, Bo. But, oh.
Dispatch, you have a location for the suspect.
Yeah, understanding. Oh, that's a good one. With the changing technologies, how will we actually protect our identity, and what implications does that have as far as an emotional level of what emotional level of like self-worth? What is your social security number worth to you? It's like worth to a lot of people think that it's worth a lot of things, and mine isn't worth jack shit because I don't even have a job. Nor do I have a credit score, nor do I actually have credit. But I'm about to have credit because of my student loan debt. Because, yeah. I'm about to have credit because of my student loan debts, and we are going to block her because I don't know why she has a private page and they have single word. Yeah, and now it's not private. It's weird because like she just made her freaking page. It was yesterday, probably October 4th. Yeah, whatever. I'm good. So, I don't know. So many kind of bots happening as far as things go, and also I had no idea whether or not that was a bot for child predators. I mean, there are those things about out and about. So I mean, oh yeah, gimme.
Wasted my life. It ain't cheese.
Oh, you can't do this to me!
Don't fucking trap me. Let's go.
Yeah. Give me the electric car.
Ow!
That'd be better for the environment as I steal things in the video game. I mean, I guess that in the same sense that what can, because that has more of an implication about anything is identity theft and identity fraud, I guess, because I've had certain things happen as far as identity theft happen to me, and I guess that it's probably the fact that I put my phone on one of my live streams. I put my phone number on one of the live streams, and if you want to look that up, it's probably hilarious. But in the same sense, I didn't. Damn it, man! sucks, dude. Ah.
Hey there. Can't wait to meet up later.
So, so, son of a bitch. Alright, and also noticing that I have a fake profile constantly going at my my Instagram, or a fake profile constantly going at here, because if you noticed, I think that that kid, whatever it was, Extra Thief 29, was
Sorry, lady.
was kept answering in the same expletives, or it would get words wrong and then not try to correct himself. So, but I mean, there's also too, like, I'm not trying to out anyone or anything like that, or anyone legal or non-legal. So it's kind of stupid to do either one. But understandably so. How has media, or the consumption of media, been effective in being able to make you I'd say a personal consumer or a personal creator? I think it's a good topic. Yeah. Because I can. Yes, saw the explosion. That was beautiful. All right, so understanding that that there's a real reason behind what people actually do in media, and there's also a real reason why sometimes what people don't understand is sometimes there's not a basis, or even what's the word, or fortification of what people would say is their political or social or even norm at all, like a political, social, or even emotional norm. So in the same sense, being able to be such a shoddy and shotgun sort of kind of because there is really a shotgun sort of approach sometimes when it comes to people actually coming up with different stuff, or people coming up with different things, or I don't know. I mean, and I understand that media tends to mimic other media. Like whatever is the lowest common denominator, people are trying to be able to mimic that. And I noticed also too that I'm getting that motorcycle, but I'm also noticing that a trend that in you son of a bitch. Give me that orange motorcycle. Is it yellow motorcycle? It's yellow. But it's yellowish golden, warm yellow. Like I don't want to say it. I'm not stupid. Like somebody stood in the sun for too long and then took a piss. I don't know. It's not really funny, I guess. But in the same sense, what are you trying to accomplish, I guess, whenever you realize your goals or your aspirations as far as what your YouTube channel is trying to, oh, damn it. And also understanding the concepts to be able to realize where you stand as a whoa, go off the couch if you can do that shit. I know it's comfortable, but damn it. Okay. Oh, son of a bitch. Understanding where you stand as far as your media consumption is like, I don't know, sometimes there's a little tidbits and pieces of news, or even things that you can actually say that that mimic the world around us, or mimic the things that people are, like the way that you, like, say for instance, there are things that people can do that are in the YouTube market that are able to, like, say for instance, the guys that get a bunch of likes, or the guys that do awesome stuff and everything like that, they'll be able to do certain things as far as marketing, or they'll know exactly what someone wants to look at, that's real or fake or anything like that, or propagated or non-propagated, or just, I mean, like, but also too, in the same sense, there are some people that are able to, I'd say, within some sense of the word, as far as create a sensationalist news story, I guess, to turn heads, and when those heads are turned, the discussion is made, and I guess also too, in the same sense, that's exactly what regular news is actually trying to accomplish sometimes in the same quandary, but also to emotionally, what does this all mean? I guess media mimics other media, and there are people that can do it better. There are people that can do it worse. There are also people that want to stay in the public eye, and that want to make people realize that their brand is better than some other people's, and also to make people realize that some people actually studied. But also in the same sense, what is studying as far as something that's is based on the abstract art, you know? And it is an abstract art to act, or to promote, or in some cases, get the hell out of here now. But tell me your thoughts, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna stay on this channel because it's fun to me, and I don't wanna. I like playing video games, and god damn it. Actually, that was a good thing. But tell me your thoughts, and see if we can discuss certain things. Also, Andre, a book of Andre. If you want to. Have a discussion, I guess, or if any of the people that have come on before want to have a discussion besides Expert Thief 29, because that's obviously the reasons why I want to not be, because he's 10 years old, and I guess there are some reasons why I don't want to associate myself with a 10-year-old, or associate myself with a 10-year-old that I don't know the parents of, or that I know that don't know my family, or my friends, or a baby of my friends. I guess it's just a weird. I don't know how to get to those certain things. To get to those certain. I'm not very professional. That's all I can say about that stuff.
Suspect doing 80 miles per hour on
Son of a bitch! Like, an explosion happens and I just explode. I don't ride through it like a fucking awesome boss. That would be friggin' tight. That's the one thing that I think is actually better off if they were to make this cup in the a bunch of dust on it and shit. I'd watch. Okay. What to think? Side. We're gonna see if we can a little bit more, because All right. It's very. It's amazing. It's wonderful. All right, we got our water. Now ready to play some more GTA, and I'm ready to go overtake whatchamacallit, all right, and then let's see here.
I told you not to fuck with me!
$87, and I got $2,398. Awesome. Good times, good times, good times. All right. So now we're going to talk about a different subject because we don't want to keep talking about the same bullshit over and over again. That's not fun. But not to say that anything I say is bullshit, but what I sometimes say sometimes can be overlaid on top of what I've already said. So it's kind of the reason why I like to do other topics. So okay. Emotionally speaking, I'd say that the reasons why emotionally speaking, I'd say the reasons why some people do things in a certain sense sometimes because I've noticed that sometimes people can make a like oh, did you know that blah blah blah, nothing is the way that you say it is on anything. It's like no other country likes to say anything about their past anyways. And I'd say that certain people were like or like just like the North doesn't like to say that when slavery ended, there are people that actually died in the cold. So I'd say that it's cold in the North. So when slavery ended, they weren't in homes anymore for the most part. Or they'd get indebted to them. And they would just stay indebted to them because they wouldn't be able to get out of poverty because of the amount of people that didn't respect them. You know, that whole thing. So, I mean, there were so many things to actually think about whenever you think about like certain things like the South or the North or anything like that. Well, no, you'll also notice that it's fucking cold up north, and it gets cold during a certain given number of seasons. It doesn't get as cold in the South, and that's why people have homeless. There are people who are still homeless to this day. They run to the South and southern states as well. And at the same sense, all California would do for homeless people is send them back to where they came from. That's another thing because it's always warm in California, but they want it to be clean, right? So, in that same sense, there are so many different programs that have been enacted in different ways and different things, and people would look at it in different ways whenever they're actually doing something. Grinded. Alright. Awesome. Let's get behind this stuff. This is not actually to be in front of those tanks like that. Son of a bitch. I gotta get the fuck. Come on. Go. Come on. But also to realizing that there were so many atrocities that happened as far as things go. Yeah! There's so many atrocities that happened as far as the North and the South were actually concerned, as far as any sort of slavery went, or slavery meant, or anything like that. Realizing that sometimes people were actually under the influence of a person who was a warden instead of an actual slave owner. Because of the fact that they were poor, they would steal something, and then under that influence, that person would kidnap them, and then they would actually be. So, but in the same sense, there were other people who actually weren't a part of the whatever hefty majority there actually were. There were so many different other things, and it was a smorgasbord of different kinds of people who treated different kinds of people differently. Or even a whole bunch of different people differently, or even the same kind of people differently, or actually just were serial killers in disguise, and that's the reason for the usual 35 serial killers within any given moment in the United States of America. So I'd say that's probably the given status, but understandably so. That's also the reason why a lot of people don't trust people in the South. Because I guess they're under scrutinized, I guess. And in the same sense, but in the same sense, people should understand though that people should also understand that okay, is this open? This is a liquor room. I'm gonna see if I can go inside. I can't go inside. It's not open. Probably it's not. It's open. What? I'm gonna go take over that haircut place. I can get like $91 there, something like that. Let me see if I can get at least $2,000. But understanding that
You okay?
I just saw this film about a depressed lesbian postal worker, and it was awesome. The new film from that stupid...
God! Come on in, honey.
son of a bitch, I'm gonna shoot the door.
Brainless fool!
Yes, give me money now. And if you're wondering why I'm using the cheat but not using the cheat sometimes, that's because I feel bad because I want to actually get sometimes achievements, but then at the same time I realize that I'm not able to get the achievements once I use the cheat at least once. So I'm trying to actually practice not using the cheats, because if I don't use the cheats, then I'm able to actually have a better better realization as far as how much I'll be able to do the things that I'm supposed to do inside the game whenever.
Suspect on foot.
10-4.
Sweet mother of God!
Units reporting a 148 on Great Ocean Highway in Paleto Bay.
You keep an eye out. I need cover.
Got him.
Suspect last seen on Great Ocean Highway.
Got him. Okay. Alright, I gotta get out of here now. So, understanding that the way that we consume media can kind of warp our perception about what actually happens in actual reality. I'd say that, and also my tires are all gone now. I'd say that that whatever people actually see and whatever people actually understand is like the truth, or whether or not things actually get scrutinized. Realize that not every person in the South is conceptually realized as an inbred, or is conceptually realized as a closet serial killer.
Officers report a reckless driver.
Realize it's called the Big Easy for a reason. It's because we take it easy while other people take it hard. While other people are trying their hardest, we're like, oh dude, it's cool no matter what. And I'm gonna get my last tire done. So all my tires are without air now.
Dispatch, engage
That's pretty great. So let me see if we can go to another thing. Another
Suspect doing
ammunition.
80 miles per hour. Ray manufacturer, Toronto.
Shit, yo!
So tell me what your thoughts are and have a discussion.
A reckless driver.
You know,
Close
because
to,
I'm doing
the
GTA
Castle
live
Street
streams.
Bridge.
I don't give a shit about likes or subscribers sometimes, or oh my god, I got a like, holy crap, it's amazing. It's like, it's like I'd much rather have an in-depth discussion with one person than have I'd say like an in-depth discussion with one person than hardly any discussion with like 20,000 people, you know. And granted, that would be cool because there will be more of an idea that will actually be portrayed, but in the same sense, I don't know. I think people think that there's some sort of like I don't know. There's some sort of phobia when it comes to stuff like this, I guess. And also too, I'm not trying to get younger kids to actually get on this thing. I guess be on this son of a bitch. Realize that. But if ever you feel as though you're not under 10 years old and you feel like commenting and saying something about someone, realize that I don't have a computer yet and I can't actually do the things that I need to do in order to be able to comment back. But if you do comment, then I will get to you by Thanksgiving. So please comment and please tell me your stories, or whether or not you feel as though, because I don't like research papers, because they should be discussions. They should be actual discussions. And because in a research paper, I'm literally just talking or writing into the abyss. I should be, because I'm just getting a grade on it and I'm gonna throw it away. But in the same sense, it should be discussions and it shouldn't be just thought about. Don't let your dreams just become dreams, and I'm gonna kick the shit out of Bo if he doesn't stop digging that goddamn hole. Bo! Stop it! Oh my god. You have to wash him some more because he's stuck in mud. You hear me? You have to wash him some more because he just dug straight down into the ground and freaking and got all of his mud, all mud. I don't have shoes on. I'm gonna get my pants dirty. You know how much I love these pants. These pants are awesome. I'm gonna get them. I gotta get the. I'm not talking to 10-year-olds. I didn't mean to talk to a 10-year-old. It was an accident because I didn't know. But also too, in the same sense, that tells me, in the same sense that that I don't know sometimes who I'm talking to. Yep, that's what he did. I told you. So if you feel like talking to me and you are of consenting adult age, and I probably should age gate some of my stuff, or most of my videos, but I'm probably going to be playing a fighting game next. So if you want to talk and if you want to actually like be a consenting adult and you want to be honest about it, then realize that that I'm here to talk, and I'm here to because most places are all about helping children, and in some ways I want to help adults. I want to help people who are that way, and or people who are not that way, or people who just want a discussion. So just discuss, and I'm gonna do some stuff. So I'm still gonna be on. It's gonna be fun. Doop doop doop. Doop doop doop. Doop doop doop. Doop doop doop. Sticky bomb. Let's see if we can do this. Alright. Son of a bitch! I was trying to change the other weapon and I fucked up and hit the wrong button. And that's what happened. Alright, cool. Okay.
report at 245 west of, the Cluckenbelt factory.
At least they got a station wagon. Alright. So.
Why? You bequeathed me this vehicle.
And I got $10. Awesome.
Come on. Come on.
You want a treat? Get a treat.
You get dick.
You're not getting on the couch. Stay off the couch. Yeah, it's a doggy.
Spend all my time washing you. What's the first thing you do?
Suspect last seen north of, the Cluckenbelt factory.
That sucks.
You think?
Y'all responsibilities. That's terrible.
You wanna end up in the trunk of this?
That is mean. Just don't do that.
Check for copy.
No, it's not. He's just doing what dogs do. That's mean.
Suspect last seen in
Threatening to kill a dog.
red station wagon.
Oh, miss. I gotta go to Mobile, Alabama and get a dog. No, it wasn't. It was your, you wanted a dog and you got a dog. That's what you wanted and you got it.
Son of a bitch! Where's your cover?
Son of a bitch!
Now you're really fucking clean.
Alright. I should not stop shooting.
His whole face was covered in mud.
Yeah, I saw it. It was funny as shit.
Wasn't funny.
Yeah, it was.
That's right. You didn't bathe him.
Okay, well, that's not my dog.
Put him in a hole. Rock.
A poo.
I'm not soaking wet. Yeah, you give me that filthy look. All day fuck him off. Yes.
I need to buy some grenade shells for my freaking shotgun. Secret love. Eh. Okay, I'm gonna stop. No, but I'm trying to keep people's privacy out of this whole thing.
Suspect eastbound west
So,
of the Cluckenbelt factory.
Enough of you! You're completely surrounded!
Be advised, we have a runner.
10-4, copy that.
What in the world? Reloading! Go! Go! All units may have turned cover maggot! Get cover! Son of a bitch! Keep that asshole entertained!
Suspect last seen on Great Ocean Highway.
Go to hell! Come on! Find cover, let's regroup! Disgust me! Let's go! Fall back!
We are airborne and en route.
What the hell?
Definitely not gonna help.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Alright. I'm done. And
Yeah, right, you're done.
I'm done for right now.
You could play this for 9 fucking hours.
I would probably do it, yeah. That would actually be a thing that I would do. But
Last I checked, don't you have this shit in your own room?
no, I don't. I never
Why?
did. Because I don't have my PS4 in my room. I was actually thinking about moving it there. Because everyone seems to want to take away my my charger cords and use them for their goddamn phones and shit.
Huh?
Everyone seems to, yeah. I have to constantly monitor my 2 charger cords that are actually for
I have
one for
It's in
the
my
Switch
room.
and one for the other one, and I have to constantly monitor them now because they're
It ain't me.
I know it's someone, and I'm gonna bring my PS4 upstairs and play it there if everyone's just gonna come down and fucking want to play my shit. So.
It's not personal.
But
down.
it's just a doggy. It's just a doggy. That's what a doggy does.
A doggy in a puddle of mud.
That's what a doggy does. Put rocks and put shit in it. Put the shit in there. Put one of those pieces of
Can you
shit.
unscrew that?
No, I can't do that. I'd have to unscrew at least one part of the sink and one part of the pipe to actually do it.
No, it's the elbow.
Yeah, I know it's the elbow.
That's
I know.
all you need.
I know. Don't get on that. No. No.
Yeah, get off my fucking
Get off the
couch.
couch. Get off the couch. Get off the couch. So.
Go lay in the bed. Wet it up.
You do not get to get wet and then get all that stuff on the couch.
I'll unscrew the bitch and I'll bring it to Home Depot tomorrow.
I can't do it. I really can't. I mean, I don't want to fuck it up. I really don't know what to do. So.
Oh, shit!
I'm wanting to know to buy that fucking shit again. I'm pretty sure that's great.
No, it's probably what was corroded in your pipe over time.
To begin with, and then I poured that shit down.
No, it was rusted out. Remember? It was rusted out. Yep, that's what happens when you have two sinks. Yep.
Mostly, let's see. Brandon's fucking hair.
Yeah, Brandon has hair that's very curly.
So
And
you
that's
can cut it
what
with
he
the
does.
thing.
Huh?
It don't fall out that soon.
No, he shaves his beard and stuff. And
Bad idea, though.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
I did find the thing for the water off. That thing, I can't get it.
Well, it melts hair, so that's the thing. It does. It melts it.
Quit chewing! Bait.
All right, let's do this.
He might give me something, but I'm not.
You didn't see my car?
Fucking throwing grenades and shit. That's what I do. Anyways. I just wanted to see it should explode because it's funny. But
Is there an ashtray under your foot?
oh, probably. But you should quit smoking.
There it is. I
You know,
realize that.
I quit smoking, so it would make me stop smoking that you're smoking.
Somebody. Let's just quit smoking. You're gonna die.
You're not gonna die. You're gonna eat cereal and you're gonna lose weight. You're gonna eat breakfast and you're gonna start losing weight. Break silence on Roy Moore allegations. Holy shit! It's like a, what's the word? It's like, what's the word? Soaps? Watching soaps, man.
No, please!
It's like, does he want to get in on the soap thing? You know?
You fucking...
It's so amazing, dude. It's just like so happy for him. You know that he's now a part of the soap universe. I wonder if anyone's gonna get cancer or if anyone has an evil twin. Because that's what this presidency has chalked itself up to. And I believe that the Republican Party is not, is pretty much embarrassed for themselves. In some ways, as far as at least, you get back here, mister. Yeah. Give me lots of money. I'm gonna steal the money. It's gonna be amazing. But I'm also gonna talk about emotional kinds of problems. Let's talk about frustrations. Maybe ways that media tries to get tizzy over about things. But we gotta start working together as a society, or else we're gonna fall and suck a lot. It's gonna suck for everyone if we don't start doing some stuff together. If I'm only gonna get people that are 10-year-olds, oh my gosh, darn thing. It's gonna be my hopes for humanity are kinda little to none, but it's okay. I'm gonna use this car because it's super GT, and I gotta put up this GT. Is this a Viper? It's a Viper. Yeah, it's not a GT. Alright, cool. Been thinking about where media puts you, you know. I may have my own stupid opinions because they're opinions and they can change given any sort of facts, I guess. But also too, I mean, I'm not gonna change my basic forms of opinions like the way that I believe in sometimes, whether or not I actually back a Republican and or Democratic or Party or Libertarian or any other party that doesn't get enough freaking what's the word? Attention. We call ourselves a democracy, but god damn it, man. You know? But I also what does that mean to you sometimes? That's what I'm trying to talk. Yeah, let's have a discussion about that. What does democracy mean to you? What does it mean?
Democracy?
Yeah, what does democracy mean to you? Emotionally. How does it push towards the goals and the things that you want your political viewpoints to be validated? Huh? She says she's independent. As am I. But what did you say? What would you say? Would you say? What? A small what? I'll make a balloon pop from it.
Dispatch, perfect sight. Moving in.
This is a no-fly zone. Divert your course.
Eagle Jet taken name. There's no escape.
Son of a bitch! Oh, you fucker! Ah, usually by then it's all done, and I'm not getting shot at anymore. It's annoying as shit.
Are you bored, pup?
Alright.
Oh, are you bored? Biggest reason they dig.
Yep.
Boredom.
Yep, pretty much. That's the biggest reason they dig. Because they're bored. But understanding that there are so many ways to be able to experience media, and the way that you, and also I need to go to another,
We just got him 2 stuff. Did you give him one?
Yeah, I gave him one. Maybe it's just that's what he's thinking about right now.
Yeah, that's one of the top ones.
Maybe he's just like, because I don't know, he thinks like, oh, he gets really riled up or something like that. And, you know, I guess probably what he's like.
After the class guy come fix my fucking problem.
Yeah, I know.
I'm turning the water off. I'm just do that.
Don't you have an off valve for upstairs and downstairs or no?
No.
Why? It's terrible.
Like, yeah.
No, it's not a bitch.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be easier than this when you have a 2-story house. Not what?
Who's gonna need water after noon?
We're swapping insurance details.
Doop, gonna rob the store.
We have a civilian in need of assistance at the Los Angeles Gun Club.
Furball. Yeah, you. Come here.
Fun.
Come here, I'm fucking wet. As long as you're wet. Come here.
Citizens report a possible disturbance at the Los Angeles Gun Club.
$202 gonna be fun.
Mommy loves it. Even though you stuck in the face in the mud.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like there's a safe in here or something like that. And
Nah, you're not
Dispatch, I
gonna
have a 20 on him.
You ain't dry enough.
alright, you have a 20 on him. And I'm gonna shoot this TV. Bang.
I do the same,
Alright,
same thing you're gonna do with Pepper.
You turn!
Suspect last seen at the Los Angeles Gun Club.
Almost got him. Yay, got him. Yeah. Oh my god, there's more. gotta go. Yay. So,
Suspect is riding in a car.
also understanding that there are certain limitations to what we can actually experience on as far as media goes, and I've been attested to it. I guess it's on part of it was part of my hard drive. I almost got a screenshot of it, but it was of this kid basically through a riot getting a fucking pole through his face, and it sucked. I saw it and it was like, wow, man, I don't even know. I can't even fathom how much of a like literally this grown man was running from another riot, but he ran into a 17-year-old, 16-year-old kid. Yes, no, I'm not talking to you, Leslie. Don't hit me with anything to try to get my attention.
I have eyes on the target.
Ask your question.
I know. Don't say Jesus Christ. In the Lord's name in vain.
Fucking Christ?
Oh, wait. Okay, shit. Alright, but yeah, that's what happened. There was some messed up shit that I saw on when live beat. No, I'm not gonna do that, Leslie. Yeah. Don't come on, please don't. I'm still doing stuff. It's like there were certain pieces of media that I wanted to actually. I know I'm yakking. I'm trying to hit a note with somebody so I can have a discussion with them. It's a really good thing.
Hope you're a nice guy.
No, there's no one on the other end of this right now. Look at a flying E.
Dispatch, need some guidance here. Eagle 10 here. Do you have a visual on the ground?
But yeah, the way that media tries to to sit with everyone's subconscious, I guess. Try to make them a better person in this regard. Realizing that through certain aspects of being able to understand media and being able to understand how media affects us every single day.
Hey, dispatch, the suspect is on foot.
Son of a bitch. Alright, realizing the way that media affects us every day.
Does it hurt you if you don't talk?
Does it hurt me if I don't talk? Actually, it doesn't hurt me if I don't talk, but understandably so, I have to be able to, and also I'm probably gonna have to put my own copyrighted image onto the thing once I'm able to do something. Once I'm able to incorporate myself or be able to license myself as far as the business goes. I'm gonna have to talk to a lawyer as far as getting a contract sewn up as far as the way that I want to do my business. And,
Holy shit!
is that a soup you made? Did you want to throw away that book? Did you want to throw away that book? Oh. It's not cool to play those jokes on the dogs though, because it gives them a false sense of what's actually around them, and then makes them stop doing stuff like regular. Give me that comment. Give me that comment. Oh, there's a motorcycle. I'm gonna go get it with this comment. Yeah. But yeah. Other than that, we're gonna talk about another topic. We're gonna see if we can come up with one on off the cuff. It's gonna be cool. There we go. It's gonna be fun. Yay.
Hey, Daddy. I was wondering. No, I was just gonna get him a couple.
Yeah, doing big stuff.
They have well, a bunch of different things, but the funniest one is to put a balloon
I knew it was gonna happen that way.
and then cover it with dirt.
I should have turned.
Dig it. The balloon pops
And also too,
and scares them.
you have to understand that that the way that media is actually fed to us through certain derivatively
I just couldn't believe it. I walked outside and like
conjugal just say justice is on. So he's condemned for more nearly 2 weeks after his first accounts of more alleged sexual predation reported by the Washington Post. Roy Moore denies it. That's all I can say. Trump told reporters while leaving the White House to go to this Mar-a-Lago resort Thanksgiving holiday. Mar-a-Lago. Isn't that in the freaking song? Is it, ooh, I wanna take a tip from you, Key Largo? Oh wait, that's Key Largo. Mar-a-Lago is... It's a different one. Baby, why don't we go? Baby, why don't we go?
Exactly.
That's where we wanna go. We're gonna go for
I'll see it's put to use.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Not that I sympathize with anyone who has allegations against them, whether they be guilty or not, or I mean, obviously innocent until proven guilty. But in the same sense, there's been a lot of allegations been going around, man. There's been a lot of, oh, that's right, sexual misconduct and allegations, and how it happens on how what kind of impact it has on our emotional. Our emotional, or even our way we look up our own heroes. It's like, oh my God, Kevin Spacey had the most prolific career in some ways, but in some ways it kind of, I don't know, I saw it coming. I mean, anyone who can immediately go from one character to being another character, it's kind of off the cuff to me, a little bit too much of a drunk, I guess, you know, or someone who has, or maybe even borderline personality disorders. I don't see myself as in that category because I'm not good at acting. I'm not good at faking. I'm not good at doing different things or even saying different things on camera or off camera. Sometimes I'm just extremely all around really awkward, and yep, I make myself laugh all the time. I laugh really stupid, and just I have stupid laughs like an old person sometimes. I make dumb faces like in the middle of a sentence because I realize that there's a punchline that I got that is like that I just said sometimes. Like when I'm breathing like weirdly or something like that, that's me making a stupid face.
Well, I'll be fucked.
And I'm still making stupid faces to this day. I do stupid things, and sometimes I'm actually the butt of jokes, and I have to turn that radio off because it's good material.
For fuck's sakes.
It sits with me sometimes that I'm such an awkward mess, and but also too the same sense that people aren't awkward messes, and it sits with me like well into some. Well, he's basically perfected his craft, and it's like, well, I mean, hold on a second, how'd you perfect that craft? I'm gonna start questioning every single actor that I've ever known ever now. Or every single musician, or every person that I've ever even seen, because after they start getting outed for certain things, they start losing fan followings, and and they're not really it's like after I never really saw myself looking up to David Bowie after that whole what's her name, Sarah Connolly, or not Sarah Connolly, Jennifer Connolly. After Jennifer Connolly, I saw him running to get Jennifer Connolly when she was only like 13, 14 years old. I never really saw him after that. I really just thought it was just like, okay, I guess he's a guy, and oh, he works for rights. And it's like, okay, cool, but that was kind of weird. And also, I'm probably not going to have a big following after this, because I talked to a 10-year-old and actually said that, that's right, yeah, there's an 18-year-old limit, and it's kind of the reason why. And that probably wasn't a 10-year-old, but because immediately he changed his name from one thing to another thing. So, it might not have been a 10-year-old. It could have been somebody that actually like tries to like villainize or even what's the word allegations, put allegations towards stuff. It's like, he told me to do stuff, and but in the same sense, I didn't even want to follow him when he wasn't a 10-year-old. So there's that, for example, and a part of me actually knew that he was a 10-year-old already. Of the fact that there wasn't very much leading to being a complete person or certain things that he likes and stuff like that. So that's also the reasons why I don't follow people sometimes, is because they can turn out to be very, very younger than what I thought them to be last time. And also too, that I don't really have too much too many different opinions about putting different I'd say like phobias around like talking. Like I just talked, so like I'm not in trouble or anything, but it's like in the same sense, like there are people out there that like victimize sometimes people. And no matter what their intention is, no matter how their intention is, and they can say how much they're sorry, but realize that no, you're not going to be able to make an irresponsible action sound more responsible. And people will look at you differently because of those actions. All the time, every single day. People will look at you completely differently for the things that you do to people. For the things that you do with people. For the things you do around people. There is a conduct code. And it's unspoken sometimes. And when people actually say, don't fucking touch me, they mean don't fucking touch me. And it doesn't mean that, oh, I can do this, or I can do that, or I can, come on, it's just harmless. And then, no, it's not harmless. It's like, you're invading a person's personal space. That's not harmless. First of all, you can impose a will on someone just by touching them, or just by telling them a certain number of things, or a certain number of things about yourself. Or saying like for instance, like when I had a girl, like that was cool, and I was gonna barbecue for her. A friend of mine who was also my stepbrother, who is going to also remain nameless because I hate him, because he's an asshole. And he is on the same disability that I'm on, except he just didn't want to stretch and eat the right vitamins. I actually have schizoaffective disorder. But I don't hate him by any means. But also too, in the same sense, he tried to villainize me as well and say that, oh, you're never gonna work on that grill ever again, are you? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, and he's the one living at the house that I technically am the parent of, or technically am the guardian of. So that kind of stuff pisses me off, you know, that kind of stuff. That whenever I get to go to a certain area of like of being able to what's the word, and also I never trusted him either after he threw a fork at my head when he was 10 years old. I mean, granted, we were fighting, but he threw a fork literally at my head. It was by my eyeball. If it would have gotten in anywhere near me, or anywhere near, if I wouldn't have caught in it, or anything like that, or if I wouldn't have moved my head just a little bit to the left, I wouldn't have had an eyeball. So he's a bit violent, and he's a bit stupid, and he's a bit idiotic. And he lives in a place where I think that he's better suited, because people don't check that shit sometimes, and they should. They really should check that shit. Check and see if like they're freaking stupid or dumb, or they do stupid things, or they think that like, oh, breaking stuff is fun, or like, or not breaking stuff, but breaking stuff in front of small children or small animals without visors or protective gear. Is that fun? No, it's a bit dangerous, and you should probably wear a little bit more safety gear while you're actually doing stuff like that, or like hurting small animals or something like that, or shitting in a lake. Now, granted, there are a bunch of snakes that can actually go up to different places if you actually have holes open.
This is just a robbery.
They're irresponsible. You get pinworms constantly. You touch on other stuff when you don't wipe your ass. Shitting in public constantly. You know, that kind of stuff. Now, I'm just saying, like, shitting in public. Like, literally, like, we go out literally 5 feet from our own neighborhood. And it sounds hilarious sometimes, but it's really not, because you have to stand next to a kid who's taking a shit out in public. Literally just like, you're just like, wow, okay, taking a shit now, aren't you, Sean? And it's fucked up, and it's mean, and stupid, and you have to watch him. And then, later on, if he is not careful, you get to touch his hands. It's fucked up and nasty. It's terrible, and it's nasty, nasty, nasty. It's terrible. But yeah, know that I know people like that. Like, they're stupid and dumb, and he's not completely stupid. He's pretty smart, actually, when it comes to mechanics and when it comes to like certain things, and also too when it comes to my younger brother. He's actually a lot more like tech savvy sometimes, and and he knows how to work on heavy machinery and stuff like that. But in the same sense, it's like it's like being more responsible, Sean. Everything you do is not always funny or considered funny. It's like, be more responsible, you know? Don't shit out in public anymore. It's just like, it sucks. Okay, alright, that's a better, even better thing. Alright, how irresponsible we act, and how irresponsible things can actually be portrayed in public, or in the public eye, or any kind of things, and what that can actually do to our mental psyche. Like, say for instance, I wanted to make my own language when I was younger, and I wasn't able to, simply because of what my parents were saying. Like, oh, don't make that, that's stupid, or don't make that, that's dumb. I don't really blame them for anything like that, because when my mom was younger, she got, I guess, victimized by her own sisters, to, what's the word, to speaking French in public, and I guess that's not a real thing that people actually do anymore. I guess that's probably the reasons why some people don't do that stuff anymore, is because
Did you not fucking see me?
I'm gonna go up behind. I'm gonna go in front of a motorcycle. Son of a bitch. I got it.
Citizens report. The 245 on Great Ocean Highway.
Yeah. I am Lord. Yeah. Shit. It's terrible too. Yeah, realizing that like what you would think a folk singer is actually a pop star. It's like it's what people would think, and also the way that we consume pop media too, as well as realizing that the lyrics sometimes are just unbelievably so they don't even go together. Some words, like, it's like, I've been running through the jungle, I've been running with the wolves now. It's like, you know that wolves aren't in jungles, right? Like, wolves aren't indigenous to some jungles. Like, they really aren't. they're not really indigenous to jungles. They're indigenous to forests. Like big forests, like mostly like hilltop forests and stuff like that. Not jungles that are down like in temperate climates. It's because of their fur and the way that they're actually seen. What you would actually see in the Jungle Book, as far as the wolves go, were actually considered coyotes. Like their fur is very thin. Yeah, there's actually coyotes. Like those, some people actually say that they're wolves, or we are part of the thing. It's like they don't live on a rock usually. They don't stay in one place because it's stupid. There's so many different things that like did not teach kids about animals in the Jungle Book, so badly, so much so, that wolves are not even indigenous to jungles, and they don't really know that. And coyotes are probably more indigenous to jungles than some, and also dingoes as well. Yeah, dingoes. Coyotes would probably be more indigenous to something, and dingoes because of their thin fur, and because of how temperate everything is, and how unlax the storm is. It's like they're able to have like they have a different skin patches too. Like there are different species actually than most wolves. So it's like I didn't really get like a lot of things that some media actually portrays as actual fact, or the fact that tigers would somehow have a thing wrong with none of the animals actually have anything out for each other ever in real life. They all just keep to themselves because they're not stupid. They know that eventually either one of those things is going to, it's like a process of elimination inside of an animal's mind sometimes. And what people have to understand is there are so many ways that actually can be very damaging to the way that children learn, and also people learn. I'm also saying that because I just talked to a 10-year-old, but though he didn't tell me he was a 10-year-old the entire time that he was talking to me the other times. So I expected him to be 29 or at an older age, but understandably so, I'm probably not going to get any other viewers because of it. And also, the reasons why I'm creating this discussion is because I had such a problem with media so far, and a problem with the way that people actually do have media around them. People are saying that it's like, oh, most stuff that's actually coming out right now is all a part of an ad scheme. It's really all a part of an ad scheme. Like certain things, Trump about blah 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 blah. Wow, this is like the biggest story that I ever looked at, and it's like we should be checking the news often, but seriously, because of all this bullshit that like somehow the president wants to stand because news it's shown, or the fact is that all covering the president now that there are like terrorist plots and fucking earthquakes everywhere and shit like that, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I mean, in the same sense, I'm not saying anything about the president. I'm saying that I'm saying that the way that they're carrying out their news day. I'm actually talking about private companies in some way, shape or forms. And their form decide to completely push media in some ways. They decide that there are some private news firms that also are backed by some government affiliates. Unfortunately, those government affiliates are not backed by their own government. So those government affiliates will not be able to control the news media, and the news media will not be controlled by any certain form because it's a free press. They can choose to listen to that stupid bullshit that the press secretary says, or that stuff because it's all stupid bullshit sometimes. It's like, oh, he had breakfast, and up, yeah. It's like not like I'm not saying that like, oh, it's all just a part of what the news media wants to shove down. No, it's like it's all news to them. It's like everything is news. Put in, like, press on it all. Do all it all. And I know that it may seem that there's no help in some areas, and there isn't in some areas, and that's the reason why I see sometimes that there isn't help in. No one's talking about Iraq or Iran, or not Iraq, Iran and their earthquake. No one's saying that, oh, we need to help Iran. It's like, no, why don't we need to help Iran? Because they sell body parts. Because they have no, they sell body parts from human donors illegally. A lot. And yeah, that's what it is. That's the whole reason. It's because we don't align with their policies sometimes, and that's the reason why we're not able to help them, or not able to help certain people in certain areas that decided to live under certain governments of rule that allow certain things. That's the difference between us and the rest of the world sometimes. And that's also the difference between getting news media sometimes and not getting news media, and also understanding the literal offsetting of geography and the not offsetting of geography. And in the same sense, people can say that there are differences in the way that people actually look at certain news stories, or the differences in the way that people look at certain things, but there are also differences in the news that we get and the we actually see, and the news that constantly stays within our own grasp, and whether or not the Red Cross is able to help in any way, shape, or form. But understandably knowing that eventually, if Iran or Iraq or any of them has a certain military group that it gets pissed off at us because we don't want to help, or that we do help, or that anything, realize that there was all of those things. There were all of those things back in the 60s and 50s and stuff like that. And behind closed doors, some people did want to help sometimes, but in the same sense, they couldn't allow themselves to be seen to be helping people, or allow themselves to be seen to be helping anyone or anything, because of the fact that there was a closed media group sometimes. And because of a closed media group, people seem to see that that there are only just one type of story or one type of thing. I'm only getting one type of newsletter or one type of thing at all. It's like, oh, I'm getting like local news that says, oh, there's a kid and he knows how to play football really well. It's like, yeah, I know that, and there'll probably be a bunch of kids that know how to play football really well, but understandably so. Is there anything wrong with the weather? Or is there anything wrong with the Doppler radar? Or do we need to start thinking about a little bit more about science? And I was like, oh, no, don't worry about that. Everything's just going to be fine with that. And also, in the same sense, I know that whole stigma of having like a Cajun or a Southern accent, and understanding that, or even like a, oh yes, sort of thing, and realize that those things were made up to be able to confuse people sometimes. Those accents sometimes were actually made to be able to confuse people who are actually causing the problems in the country, to make them believe that they had some sort of power in some way, shape, or form. But in the same sense, also to realizing that there is a free speaking and a free thinking sort of way to be able to say that, hey, if you believe that someone is a little bit lower in class than you, then you're un-American. And then eventually, you're gonna lose your shit. But in the same sense, realize that sometimes people don't get that, or people don't get the fact that there are reasons why people say, like a small child will tell me how old he is 2 or 3 times into a thing. See, 10-year-olds can be smart too, even Even if sometimes they're not 10-year-olds. Who knows? He may not have been a 10-year-old. But, understandably so, there has been no verification for any of that stuff. And, like I said, I'm not a professional. I'm just a freaking dude who likes to play video games and talk about mental health and mental awareness. And how does that make anyone feel? It should be on their minds constantly. Or on their minds at all. If it's not on their minds, then they're talking about Logan Paul or talking about some sort of dude that plays pranks on people because they're desperately trying to cling on to an Americanized version of what, or not Americanized, a localized version of what they believe America is, or America should stand for. Even though they're on a world thing and they're talking about social justice, and I guess the only reason why people actually came up with social justice in the first place is because instead of informing people of what they could control, like world hunger or anything like that, they started to realize that the more that they could control, the more that they would have become a little bit more correct in referring to other people, and then socially just saying that we're going to respect a certain group or respect a certain person because of them actually existing, and that's a true thing. But when you go too far and say we're going to start beating people up over the fact that we don't like the way the country is going, and we don't like the way the country is going right now, and also understand that there are so many ways to actually go as far as where this country is going, the way this country is going right now.
You have entered for Zancudo airspace. Divert immediately.
Son of a bitch! Are you fucking serious? Alright, awesome. And I'm dead. But, and yes, I curse, and I say things that are off the cuff, and, appreciated, or not appreciated, evaluated, I guess, by sometimes the YouTube community. And I don't know whether or not this is going to get me any attention or not, but understanding that if I do, this video will probably be suppressed, and the first one will probably would show up and actually show up the eventuality, because I've played violent video games with 10-year-olds before. They are violent video games before, so an experienced YouTuber, and I don't really know all the regulations, but it seems as though that 10-year-old knew a lot about the regulations, and didn't seem to tell me until he told me he was 10 years old. And he knew F the police, and even in Europe, or I don't know, from using a Southern Europe tag, I don't know, but understandably, even though there should be kids different things, but you could have Jeffrey Dahmer on your hands if you don't, because between you're thinking that way the opposite and not opposite side of the law, or whatever gun's actually pointing at, or the one, you know? So and I'm what, and sometimes and in some ways are serious regulation loopholes, because would a 10-year-old be able to look at my page at all? So YouTube, you got some explaining to do, other than the explaining that you did beforehand, and I'm not gonna rest until we have a discussion about it. And it's not this thing. I want a discussion with anyone that has opinion about it, and that's my last episode. But if you don't know, my last episode consisted of me talking about how much I wasn't a professional, and then it consisted of me talking to a 10-year-old, not realizing it was a 10-year-old, and then him telling me it was a 10-year-old, and then me saying, like, oh yeah, as far as things go, we could play video games together, but wait, I realized that there were regulations on I stream things sometimes with underage kids unless they have different, they consider adults, they consider their parents. And that in itself is probably a huge red for anyone. But we're gonna think about it logically, hopefully. Even though that I didn't think about it when I was actually talking to the child, and then one of my last one is probably I'm gonna have to, and we're gonna have to go separate ways in this one. And all right, so have a terrible laugh, and I'll talk to y'all later. And I'm gonna keep doing the mud stuff because this is fun. Have a good day. And this has been Joe Bomb Squad, and this is my game therapy. If you like what you hear and see, then please discuss with me on the next time I do this. And every single time I shoot stuff off on my my Facebook page that my friends can see. And if you're one of my friends or one of the people that actually want to talk about stuff with me, then talk about something with me. But understandably so, if you're a 10-year-old, then I'm not going to be able to talk with you. So
Happy birthday.
but be older and and also be better. So if you want to have a discussion, then I'm all ears, and I'm also always playing video games most of the time. So I'm gonna play Justice League or Injustice, whatever.
I saw it.
God's Among Us. This has been Joe Bomb Squad, and you are your own one-man bomb squad. Remember that, and always diffuse problems before they happen. I try to, but they don't always happen sometimes. So. Yeah, that's a burp. All right.